Hey, everybody. We are back for another episode of UpUrXP podcast. It is episode 31. Today, we're going to be talking about the state of MMOs in 2021. And with me today, I have Liani.
Woo.
Oh, okay. I almost thought he was just going to say nothing, and then I got really concerned. And we have our special guest, Nephraelle.
Hello, BlaiseMcBaine.
I didn't screw it up.
You did not screw it up this time.
I thought
Very
about
proud.
it. I even
Alright.
considered messing it up on purpose, but I didn't.
Thank you. What a great host, you guys. This
Yeah.
feels so welcoming.
Yo, big
I'm
host
really
2020.
Okay.
I like the part where you didn't say "I'm ready" in the middle of me introducing
I'm
you.
ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Just so we're aware.
So for those that don't know, who is Nephraelle?
Question.
So Nephraelle is just a big, angry scream ball who enjoys a bunch of MMOs. I'll tell you that, Blaise. I do enjoy being annoying and annoying other people, just in general. I do make it a point to be annoying. And with that, that's why I am a healer main. I annoy anybody and everybody I can. On the opposite team, on my team, whether it be, hey, can you give me some heals? Or maybe let's kill the healer, you know? It's just, that's me. That's me, baby.
Who needs the healers? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
What are they there for, really?
I can't believe you said that to me. This podcast is going so well.
Yeah. What you forgot to mention is that you're a League of Legends main. And
Alright, well, I didn't think we'd have to bring that up today because the topic is about MMOs.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all right.
Hey, it rhymes with MMOs. MOBAs rhymes with MMOs.
No, don't think it does, Leon.
Yeah, LOL, WoW. I mean, they kind of go together. There's an O in the middle.
Right.
L Omega lol L. W Omega lol L.
Hello?
Ellie on has an O in it too. New World also has an O. So I mean, they're obviously all just correlated together. Yeah. Wow. League and MMO is what Kenny said in the chat. Just as we're cleared. I mean, probably sooner rather than later, to be honest with everything.
There. I'll be talking all day.
Yeah. Imagine that would be where Neff gets lost forever.
Absolutely.
Okay. So really, I came up with the idea of talking about the state of MMOs because of how bad New World's launch it was. And by bad, I don't mean like, yes, there was a ton of people playing it. Yes, there's a ton of people love it. But how horrendous as a dev team it's been. And we'll get to that in a bit. Because that's I don't want to start off just like slamming negativity at New World because like it's not a bad game.
I don't know if it's negativity so much as it could be represented as
the
constructive
truth.
criticism.
Yeah.
All that, you know, is fine. Either way, all I'm going to say is that I've seen a Guild Wars team with less than the amount of people and the New World team do more in under a year than New World's done in less than 3 months. So I say 3 months, but I'm also talking about the setup and the work up for it and the campaigning, how big campaigning was. Then it just falls off into what's alluded to at the moment. But like you said before, we won't go into that right this current moment.
It's. I think we should start off where we met, which is Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2, a solid MMO, good PvE, good PvP. WW exists.
Right. Actual area for PvP.
Yeah, actual large scale PvP. I have not played it as much this year as I'd like to. I'd like to catch up on Living Story. I planned on it, and then the expansion got delayed, and I was like, then I don't care. I will wait.
A lot of people in the Guild Wars community was saying, talking about the new expansion, we need another one. I don't feel like we do. But that's from terms of somebody who just currently bought the last two and is now having to play catch up. I haven't even gotten my mounts at all. Can't even go in well. This
you're missing out.
Mounts, and that seems so cool. In comparison to a lot of other MMOs. Not to say, mounts are cool or whatever. I don't like the necessity of having to pay for a cool one or nothing. But I do like the concept that they brought that into World versus World, since we're talking about it. And I just playing Mad Catch Up, and I really wanted to get into it, but like you said, haven't been able to find the time in the last year or so to really sit down, play it. But that could be just a bit more animosity towards the game rather than the game itself, like a personal
Yeah.
level.
I mean, and I've talked about this like briefly before.
Excuse me.
I have a bajillion hours on that game. I think I have 13
Absolutely.
max level characters with gear in the whole 9 because I had a problem. And the problem was Guild Wars 2 itself. Like I just played it a ton. And by a ton I mean like I would do WVW rallies for like 12 hours at a time.
I think it's a bit more than that.
Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna say it was 12 hours. I would
Alright.
I would drop my wife off at work. I would come back to the apartment and I would command from the time I dropped her off at work until the time I had to go pick her up at work some nights.
But let's be fair, you're also dealing with children at the same
No,
time.
I was
You
not.
were jungling a bit more.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
At least with,
Oh yeah, at the end of it, yes.
That's what
Which
I was,
yeah. At the beginning of it, not so much. The game's solid. I think with everything that happened with the guild we were in at the time, it's hard for me to want to go back. It's also hard to go back when like you go to log in and people are like, "Hey, are you back? Can you come command my guild?" And I'm like, "Bro, I haven't commanded in forever." But there are several things I love that game. Like it holds a place in my heart. Like it's one of the few games that I was crafting the meta, and what I was doing was to fight against the meta, but then would become the meta, and I was just like always ahead.
A come together game. I'll say that. I will say that.
I do think it's in a good state. I don't think it's in a bad state. I think if you're looking for a PvE experience, there's a ton to do. I think if you're looking for a WVW, like a Alliance versus Alliance type system, it's good. It's just it hasn't been revamped in years, and the dev team for that is very minute. Like I think it's like
Very
1 to 3
small
people now.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of changes when we're in an age of everything changing constantly for games with battle passes and new map updates and just stuff like that. And I don't think I really have
still daily login rewards though. I will say that may not be something big anymore to people who've played that game for years, but they still got that login reward system that makes you want to keep coming back and just be like, what's in there? Yeah. I know I do anyway.
I mean, I always called it. What do we call? Was it Fashion Wars? That's what we used to call it.
Fashion Wars,
the gear and stuff looks sick. Like it's a pretty game.
It was amazing. Yeah,
it's a pretty game, and the combat really solid. I've New World put me in such a bad taste in my mouth that I considered going back to play Guild Wars 2.
Is that why you're talking about the state of MMOs in general?
Yeah.
Because I don't think anything is worth going back to an old game whenever you're trying to, pursue other ones, because you're always going to find those similarities. I've found. That's what I've been doing with Albion, right? Albion came out not too long ago. Now, I would say at least 2 weeks or something. I haven't been playing it because it made me want to play Terra again, and I went to go and play Terra, and it was a terrible choice. Haha, no pun intended. So the thing with Albion was so many flashing things on my screen, my eyeballs can't take it. I go back to things like Terra and Neverwinter. I don't know if you guys remember Neverwinter, but that was also an MMO that was kind of big and then died out of nowhere because of content issues. So I would say, don't, as much as you want to, don't go back to Guild Wars 2 because you'll find nothing there but memories. And
yeah, I mean, I've tried, and it leaves me with disappointment, sadly enough.
Absolutely. Because I'm not going to work that hard ever again for a guild, if I'm quite honest with you.
With World of Warcraft.
Yeah. Not even WoW can pursue me any longer.
So we'll leave it there. Like I said, I think Guild Wars is in a good place if you haven't played it, or even if you have played it and you just don't have the issues that we had, like in the sense of leaving the game. I think
Oh, it is a fun game.
it's a good game. It's a good game. It's obviously made on an old engine and really needs some help there, but it's a good game. I did remember a game to add to the list that I forgot.
Right.
And we don't have to talk a ton about this one. I actually think it's one of the better MMOs out right now, and that is Elder Scrolls Online. I know people feel differently about that because they feel like combat-wise it's not great, or graphically it's not great. But that game has constantly been getting updated. It has a very healthy player base. It's really easy to get into. There is a ton to do, whether it PvP, PvE, and like their alliance versus alliance. I don't know if anybody else wants to say anything. I know they release a new expansion every year, and then DLC. I think like 4 DLC packs throughout the year too. Like it has just been a very well designed game, and they have spent a lot of time making sure that it continues to be successful.
If I may,
yeah,
I do think that what they're trying to do with ESO is just give the Elder Scrolls community some more content, because they know Elder Scrolls 6 won't be coming for a while now. So, I mean, to be fair, I think that's all they've really got at the moment. Same thing with Fallout people. They've been playing a lot of Fallout 76, if we're on terms of MMOs, because technically it's sort of kind of moved in that direction a bit more. With 76, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
ESO has been giving what a lot of other games that are trying to do what it's doing, they're just doing it better.
Yeah.
I'll say that. They're doing it better. I can't really say or give my opinions on any of the things that have come out so far. However, I can say that I see that gradual change and that gradual want for their game to become better. In terms of like the whole of MMOs going, they're giving the people exactly what they want in PvE content, in PvP content even, and I just don't know what more you could ask for in one at the moment.
Yeah,
because I'd say like you, I'd probably rather go to ESO rather than Crowfall or WoW or Albion or Final Fantasy, where I'm paying a subscription, you know what I'm saying, every month, and there's not as much content as I'd enjoy. Yeah,
so
personal opinion anyway.
Crowfall had an interesting announcement today, and I'll keep Crowfall kind of short too.
Like that. No,
so Crowfall is something I played on stream pretty decently through its release for about a month and a half. And what I like about it is it plays similar to Guild Wars in the sense of like action-based combat, but it is strictly PvP. If anybody's ever played Albion Online, another game that started off not in a great place, is in a much better place now. Very different type of MMO. If you want to check out Albion, it's a top-down MMO and not graphically intensive, which is what bothers people about it, but there's a ton to do, and it has really interesting systems. I haven't played enough of it to really go much further than that, but good game. Crowfall has a great idea. Like, it has the constant AVA or WW mechanic with like you can go fight people constantly. The map is huge. They actually updated the map to where it's all regions now. It's NA, EU, and Australia all on one map, and they all have different siege timers.
Oh, that's nice.
But you can go and play with people from everywhere on that one map. It's kind of cool. Very guild focused. There was a lot of problems with its launch because they did a soft launch, which means they released it, didn't do a lot of advertising, and we're hoping that, you know, through word of mouth it would pick up track. But the problem was people that backed it didn't even know it came out. It was just a whole slew of problems. And then the game mode they showed off with their tournament with, I believe it was Razer, maybe it was Alienware, I'm not sure. I think it was Razer though. They had this huge tournament before launch, like a month and a half before launch, and like it was really successful. And then that wasn't a game mode that came out with it, which was a 5-man team-based battle royale mode that you like looted and like you built with your classes. So like it really like pushed small man PvP. It was a cool idea. And
game that's small, yeah.
Yeah, the game struggles. Like it is very hard to gather and craft. And everything has to be crafted. It is just very centralized around like having a community that plays it and staying healthy. Like you have your Eternal Kingdom, which is like your own housing area. You can build up as a little kingdom and like have different vendors and stuff there. There's lots of great ideas about Crowfall. The biggest downfall of Crowfall was not only the soft launch, but was also the issue with the fact that there was nothing for small scale PvP players. Like if you're running a small group, you're most likely getting ran over by Zerg. There was just nothing around that. I was finding fights, but I was generally finding fights that were like 1v3, 1v4, 1v10, which just leaves you kind of in a bad place. They did make an announcement. I believe the patch came out today. I have to double check that.
I did see it on Discord today.
But 7.3 came out. Lots of changes. I'm not going to go over all those, but what I will mention is they have made an area on the maps that is 100 via 100 for your alliance. That's capped at 100 players for each alliance. That's capped at 50 players for each alliance, and it's capped at 25 players for each alliance. So they really are trying to help those small scale PvP players.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, a game
good.
that really makes or breaks it is it choosing to make those changes there. Choosing to do that little life of improvement set up, and that can really go a long way. So I'm happy they're doing it for a game like Crowfall.
The other part I like is the free. They did like they're calling it freemium. Like they give like buddy codes. So like it's a buddy code that lasts 10 days, but they also reduce the price of the game to $15, which I think will really actually help people be more interested, because a $40 price tag for a PvP only game is really hard for people to swallow.
Absolutely.
A $15 tag, and you're gonna get people that are interested. Like rather than just going free, $15 is not bad. And they did reward all the players ahead of time.
Either, but they also went free. Now that that I'm remembering, they did go free with what was it, 1 or 3 slots for characters. Regardless, like that was crazy when that happened to us, and we're just like, we're all sitting there like, we really paid like $40 for this game plus money for the expansion. Like, oh my god, you guys are getting it free off.
Oh, crazy. we had people in the guild that spent like hundreds and thousands of dollars on the game, and I mean it was wild.
I am, for one, not someone who wastes a ton of money on MMOs. If I buy the game, it's just gonna be the expansion and that's it. Normally, you don't see me buy it on cosmetics.
Oh, it was so bad. We had someone that bought. Oh God, I think it was like 4 years into the game. They had spent like multiple thousands of dollars, and I was like, "Excuse me,
how?"
Dude, you would be amazed.
What do you buy from just
cosmetics? Cosmetics, bro.
Are not account bound?
No, they are.
Things were.
They are all now, but like
Was there so many cosmetics and stuff that it was worth it? Like there was a lot of values around thousands of dollars.
I mean, so
you could sell your account, to be fair.
And,
I mean, everyone does that.
I'm just saying that would be the only thing to be like, oh, I've got thousands of cosmetics on this. If you like Fashion Wars, here have my account, $200 price, or whatever. And people really would run those accounts that high because they would like to look cool during PvP or something.
You would have thought I was an MMO. Like you would have thought I was a whale in Guild Wars 2. Like you would have thought I spent tons of money and I just grinded my gold and converted it to gems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it was wild. I'm not gonna talk much more about Crowfall because I'm pretty much the only person that plays it. But
unfortunately enough.
But I did want to mention those things because I do think I'm curious to see if that actually does help it become a more healthy game, a more healthy project.
I think it.
Also, it has a new live lead. There's a new lead for the live client. That was it. Yeah.
Ooh.
That was the other thing.
I think in my opinion, when it comes to those type of games, like you said, it's purely PvP. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
It's I like how it goes for the rhythm of $15, like low cost, because it help like you said, Blaze. It helps a lot with the player base, and also having to fit or like having to make sure that the smaller scale players like groups get to play as well and enjoy the game. That actually helps a lot, because then you can run like 5 mans or 2 mans, even just have like a buddy system, get going, play the game, jump in, play the game, and have fun, instead of just having
Yeah.
like, oh, I have to group up with like 50 people, like, and not get into an actual guild or company or
If that.
alliance, what you want to get. If that's if you even are bothering. For example, for me, I could care less if I want to be in a guild or in a company or like in a group of people, because I'm mostly someone who plays on their own. Sometimes I play with friends and whatnot when they're on, and I get asked to play and shit like that. But that's besides the point. uh, I so it's cool to have like at least a bit of like solo player content. At least in my opinion, if there's solo content, it's fun, as well as like some group content that you could just join in, not really interact as much and play.
Yeah, and that's where Albion kind of shines. Is it's that same type of project as Crowfall, with it being more PvP focused, but they have like instant based solo dungeons you can go do, or instance based solo PvP dungeons where you can run into one other player, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so question for you all:
Mm-hmm.
do we do Elion first out of the next ones, because that's probably like the most?
The most tame one.
Yeah, that's kind of my point.
Right.
All right, so moving on to
I
Elion.
just feel like you're touching very softly on one of these games, and I don't know how I feel about you tiptoeing, but you know.
No, I'm not
We'll
gonna
get
tiptoe
there.
once. I'm not gonna
We'll get
tiptoe
there.
once I get there, but I just feel like it's gonna be a weird break from
Or,
like
It's
hey,
literally-
like I'm
One of
calm,
them-
I'm calm, I'm not okay anymore. I'm still
I'm
not
pissed.
okay. And then like, oh hey, this one's really good. So like it just seems really weird.
I'm pissed.
Yeah. So Elion, made by the people that made Terra and that made PUBG, was a Korean-based released MMO about a year ago over there. They brought over here, and I've been playing it a good bit, and I've been really enjoying it. I think it is definitely an MMO that's easy to chill and play. I do agree that like the effects are obviously kind of outrageous, but I do think you can turn them off or turn them down drastically.
You know, the funny part about that is I've seen a lot of my Guild Wars friends migrate over there, and I've been asked, hey, if you need a group, I've got one. And I mean, as a healer, I already know what that means.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
Sell your soul towards the group.
yeah, a little bit. It does feel like that sometimes, but no, it's something about just playing in a group on Elion. I don't know what it is. I don't think if I'd like it. A bit like you, Liani, I can play that game solo. I'm okay with playing it solo, or I'm okay with playing it with one other person. We're going off and we're doing some PvP, and we come back and maybe do quests or something. But it's not a game that I would sit down, try to invest my time like I would Guild Wars, because there's not a lot of potential for a healer like me there, where it's like solo healing or there's just nothing.
I don't know what you mean, because me and Liani really needed a healer the other day.
Nothing in terms of, I mean, that's different though. Needing a healer's different than like the healers wanting to play the game, because
No,
there's
I know.
Oh, yeah.
for us
But
there.
I'm just meant
That's
like
where I'm coming from.
we're in a poison area, taking health damage, and we're like, oh Jesus, neither of us have a healing ability. I have a shield ability, and then Liani had lifesteal, and I was like, this is awful. Like as a game, as a gameplay design, this does not feel good right now.
Just like sitting here and be like, hey Blaze, so I'm tank. He's like, don't worry, I'm dying. Like, Blaze, you are not taking any damage because my HP bar, I am a 10% HP. It's like, here, she's a beetle that removes poison and also heals you. Like, Blaze, I'm dead.
Oh my goodness.
Blaze, I'm dead.
I agree though. Like I do think I don't know if it's just where I'm at in Elion. Like I need to be further to kind of see everything come together, because I think one of the things it does well is like the solo dungeons are cool, but like there's no party dungeons before you hit max level.
Yeah.
which is strange. So like if you're a healer, like it just feels weird.
Yeah.
If you're an elementalist, it just sucks until you get to end game. If you're a slayer, you're just OP. There is, I will say that there is a ton of content in the game though. Like there is a ton to do. My biggest issue with the game is there's too many different types of currency. Like it just seems overwhelming.
Really, that's the pet peeve you've got is the currency.
That is. I told that to Liani that
that's very interesting.
I see it.
To not like. I don't like the mount system, but you don't see me saying I don't like the fucking mount system. Like
actually,
you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a small little minute thing.
What do you like about the mounts?
You know what, Jesse? I agree with you.
The consistency of how slow they are or how slow they can feel.
Yeah.
Mine's not that. Mine's not that. Mine's how
my chocobo to run.
No, mine's more so of it is using a inventory space.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, that as well.
That's the one I'm like, why? Like I'm so used to having my own mount in like a mount tab.
Should be
like
on
there's
your
an inventory, on the personal. Like there's like a tab where you just like click on it and there's a list of mounts.
Yeah,
like,
it definitely should be like
which is the selection I want? What do I feel like today? Do I want to ride the golden parrot or do I want to ride the white parrot?
The thing is that you don't get the choice though because there's no place to store the other one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
If you want to get rid of it, you know what I'm on about. Like
you put it in your bank.
But you
but like I can't ride it.
Game, so
I don't get to ride it.
No, I agree. There should be an account bound system for mounts and for outfits.
And I shouldn't have to buy a house to do that. I shouldn't have to buy a house.
No, you're given a house. You're given a house.
Yeah, remember you start with a house. Yeah.
If I want a better one, I've got to buy it. That's coming off on. I just can't.
There's also the same thing with Albion where we touched on this a bit lightly. It's a Korean-based MMO, right?
I was about to say that as well.
So
I can understand
the effects and whatnot are probably the main reason as to why it's that. Sense in terms of like effects.
To when they're speaking NPCs because it does sound like broken English sometimes, which can be a pet peeve for somebody who's they just can't take that. Somebody like me, but I've been trying really hard to be like, yes. English is not their first language. I must adapt, and I do it quite well, to be fair with you.
You're adapting with me.
I'm just a very story-driven person. If the game does not have good story, you won't catch me playing it. You just won't.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Well, I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of the MMOs right now. Is like their story isn't great.
Feels very dull.
In my opinion, there's two things. It's also the story, but also how MMOs, like current MMOs, they make you take a long ride in the leveling process to get to max level. Once you hit max level, then comes the problem of what's the end game even about? Because the MMOs right now are, let's just make you waste an entire month of leveling experience. All right, you got a full month of just like no life in the game. Now there's nothing else to do, and if there is, it's very scuffed. It's very badly made, and that's what makes people leave the MMO. Because first of all, the people who don't get to reach max level are like, well, I don't want to play anymore because I don't want to reach max level. Like, what's the point? It's too slow. I just want to reach end game. That's the main goal of an MMO is they want to reach the end game and do the end game content because that's where generally the good stuff in an MMO occurs.
Quote, unquote.
Yeah, quote unquote. Obviously, there's sometimes where it doesn't. Sometimes the leveling experience is the beauty of the game for some MMOs.
Well, that's the thing. I think is, I don't want to be like this is a generational thing or whatever. But whenever MMOs really started out, I'm going to say, for the first Final Fantasy Online on the old PS, PS2, whatever it was, there was no thinking of early game or late game. It was all about experience for the MMO, taking it for what it was, really taking the time to enjoy the leveling system, to take the time to enjoy every stepping stone that there was along the way. And I do mean every leveling situation, there's probably a memorial or a time where you remember most of any MMO that you were like, I remember this quest during level so and so because it made me do this, this, and that. It was really, intricate and made me think, or puzzle or something silly. Um, and nowadays, people are just looking for that end result of like quick serotonin, like need to get to that end point in game, need to get this big thing now, need to look amazing this very moment. Like they're not taking it in gradual steps, I feel. And that is what ruins a lot of MMOs or games in this genre, because they're looking for that quick satisfaction. I cannot speak
Satisfaction.
tonight,
I got you.
Yes, thank you. But you know what I'm on about. In
Yeah, it's
general,
the instant. It's the
like
instant gratification.
gratification.
I
Absolutely.
actually talked about that with students the other day. Is like, for them, like they live in a world where like they can figure out something immediately because they have cell phones, and like I come from a generation where like that wasn't a thing, where I couldn't just like know what I want to know, or I couldn't just post something and get immediate feedback. But like that's the problem now, and that has affected games. That's the reason battle passes exist in some capacity, is
to keep their attention there, because
keep
if
you going.
they don't, it's gone.
Then you miss out on it.
Absolutely.
I do think, like, we've already talked about some games that do good storytelling. Like I think Guild Wars does a great job with their storytelling. And I think, and I would say, I'll even say this, their leveling system is good. Like it is. Like you feel
satisfying. I'll
like
give them
the progress feels good. ESO, good storytelling. Leveling, but like it has good story. We haven't talked about a couple of them yet. Like I don't think Elion's terrible. I do think it could be improved on the storytelling side, but we're going to talk about some in a bit that aren't that great. But I will say, like, from what I've played of Elion so far, like I do enjoy it for what it is. Like I went in with the idea of like, and I just play it because I can just vibe. I just play it because I can vibe out. I don't have to like be thinking a ton. Unless I get on an airship with Liani thinking we can two-man the airship, and then we pull a gargoyle and then we just both die because there's not enough people.
We didn't pull one gargoyle. You pulled 1,000 of them, and
you're
I saw one
and it spawned
big
1,000
gargoyle spawn, and then I'm like, okay, this is easy. It immediately spawns like 20,000. Like, Blaise, the fuck
I pulled
did you
one.
just pull?
I shot one.
I shot one. I shot my thing. I'm like, the fuck you shot? There's like 10 million gargoyles, bro, on the fucking airship. I'm dying here, and he's like, I'm steering.
Yeah, dude, it was so bad. It was so bad, dude. And then I like the idea of like like you go to the portals and it's like it's a PVX area where like you can PVE, but you could also run into enemy players. Like I think that's cool.
Yeah,
there's definitely some like cool concepts there. But I agree, like the mount system should be a count bound like pocket thing. Yeah. Same thing with outfits. Like I shouldn't have to like go back and forth.
We've got to talk about transmogs in these next couple of games, because
I'm going to tell you how
it's
about to be bad.
This makes me very angry.
Oh yeah,
in terms of needing to look good.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna hop on to the elephant in the room, which is New World.
All right, get your shields, boys.
Yeah,
let's get spicy.
If you're a New World fan, you should fast forward to I don't know what point in the episode. But just
fast forward 2 hours.
Just know it will be a while. Look at the episode length and just
bad things to say.
And just
I'll give it that.
And just go, it should be a while from now.
In before we go, it's another category and history, and go back from New World.
No, I am limiting us. I am going to limit us. Oh God.
Give me a 10-minute cap, otherwise.
Okay, I'm gonna limit us at 20 minutes. I don't think okay. I have to worry about. I'm doing this because that last time Liani was on, I kept trying to stop him from talking about WoW, and he just went ham.
I can still go, dude. Thank you for
So,
anyways,
so New World. An indie developed game by Amazon.
Try and say that without laughing. Try and say that
Okay,
without
oh yeah,
laughing.
I got you. An indie developed game by Amazon.
Slowly.
In
That just got
in-
so weird.
an indie developed game by Amazon, produced by Jeff Bezos.
You forgot Game Studios. Do it.
Smile Game Studios, 2021, best game of the year.
Money guaranteed.
Yeah, money guaranteed. Probably one of the most ridiculous MMOs I've played in recent memory. Oh my god, I can't even talk right.
Well, I'm telling you, we can't talk tonight.
So you know, it has bugs that existed in closed alpha. I don't even know where to start about New World. New World is an MMO that you go into and you're like, oh, cool, I'm a pirate. I crashed on Eternum, this like weird corrupted island. And then like
how we started.
Yeah, and that's the story. Okay, that's it. There's nothing else. There, like you like get like bits and pieces of like you're like rebuilding the whatever it's called, and then like there's just not good story. The story sucks.
It's a bit weird, and I don't think I've talked to an NPC and been like, yes,
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
The story sucks. The mob density, you see the same mobs from level 1 to 60. Like they don't like there's not a huge difference in mobs. The faction quests don't change. The board quests are like collect, gather, and bring back. Like I had these qualms when I played it before it released, and I understand why people like it. Like on the base level, it is a good. It is a good MMO on a base level. Like the audio is good. The gameplay, if it wasn't so many bugs, feels good. But
to be fair, though, they fixed a lot of the things that I've had pet peeves with, so I can't really.
To be fair, I put off this episode for 2 weeks in hopes that they would, so I'd have positive things to say.
If that makes you feel any better, you know what I'm saying.
But
they have.
I mean, I put this. I postponed this episode by 2 to 3 weeks because I didn't want to just bash New World the whole time. But
now we don't have to.
Now we don't have to. They fixed the bug where like you could crouch in an AoE heal infinitely and heal for a billion amount.
You know what I cared for as a common citizen?
What?
Taxes, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Taxes.
Yeah, taxes.
Don't like the tax system.
I'm sorry.
Enough of that in real life.
I'm sorry. You expected a game made by Amazon.
Jeff Bezos?
No, they can't even get my packages to the right house. You think I expect anything from them?
It's Jeff Bezos. He went to the moon. He knows where you are. He GD'd a satellite that now shows the entire planet on his bald head. You can now see the entire area.
All right.
Aside from this joke, let me just say I do like the taxes change. It went from 5 days to 7 days or something. And for a person who it does not play this daily or puts in a quote-unquote daily grind, whatever, I don't really want to be paying 300 to 400 gold for a placeholder for quick travel every 5 days I'm getting on. Because in all reality, I take about 2 or 3 days break from playing the game because I need it. Let's be honest, because whenever you get on, it's overwhelming. It's either overwhelming or it's underwhelming. What am I going to do? There's so many things to do. Or you sit there like, oh, I've got too many things to do. I need to get off because I'll save it for next time. And it keeps going. I'll save it for next time. As a live staff main on that game too, they don't let you even spam the offered AoE anymore because it was quote unquote too much healing. They fixed double weapon spamming, which means I can't have two life staffs with different extra abilities
attributes
or whatever, you know. Yeah. And
not only that,
frustrating as a healer.
There's no other weapon that uses focus besides life staff because they haven't put the other focus weapon in the game yet.
And they also have not had that scale with anything else, but I have assumed, and I've done this just an assumption in general of like, if I put gems in my stuff, it's lightning or it's fire damage, and I've been doing this consecutively every time I've gone on. If I put different gems in there and I see if that's based off of my intelligence or my focus, will it do a bunch of damage? Because as a healer, I don't really see the point of going Hatchet. I don't really see the point of going Great Axe or Sword and Shield. I'll do it, but it doesn't mean I want to do it for a person who is a healer main in all games that I play. It's just, I know what the game wants me to do, and that's to respec and to try new things and explore outside of my comfort zone. But however, I don't feel like I should have to do that for an MMO. I don't feel like I should have to do that at all. I could care less at how much effort you're putting into the game as a solo player, as a person who plays with a team or whatever. It's just that it does not seem very rewarding in the long run. PvP, I could see it, but I'm here about the goddamn transmogs, you guys. I'm very angry about these transmogs. You have to pay for transmogs, alright? You literally have to pay for it. The new skins, the Halloween skins, did not like, the things offered. However, you're not going to see me pay 15 to 20 bucks for an entire set that I have to get for a transmog on my shit gear armor. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's bad. It looks bad. There's no getting around that in early games or in early levels in those games. You can't get past the fact that your clothes are just ugly. I'm sorry, but me personally, I'm going to keep grinding my items until they look solid. And that's going to be my vendetta until I do. It will literally keep me raging to keep playing. It will. That's what I did in Guild Wars. I looked so ugly as a plant. Hated it. Got to level 80 and I was like, yes, I've become Supreme Plant now. Like, because you look good. You look good. You look fantastic
Supreme
in that
Plant.
gear. I felt good, bro. I felt...
My man had the sticker,
Sylvari.
the Supreme.
Yeah, Supreme
logo
on my forehead, and I felt amazing for it.
Look,
I
just played a salad. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. I was in a pirate.
Yeah, I have a huge issue with the fact of, like, the items that you get, you don't get them for transmog. So, like,
Yep.
you just have whatever you had unlocked from, like, the purchases. I just think it's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. I can't fathom why there's no transmog. But then again, I see the fact that you can alt-tab in windowed mode, grab the window, and then you can't die. So, like, that exists, and I'm like, oh, that's why transmog doesn't... I know.
I had somebody's funny rebuttal, right, for transmogging, and I thought it was funny, and I'm not going to name the person. They know who they are.
I know who they are.
But I'm talking about the transmog with this person, and, it kind of was just like, oh, man, I'd really enjoy that, and he works so hard to make his opinion right, and I love that about him. Because he just doesn't, there's just no, you know what I'm saying? There's no. So, talking about it, and I was like, look at this outfit, the Dark Soul vibes are superb, I'm showing off this really good set that I know I'll never be able to wear again. For the first time ever in New World. And he goes, not bad. Imagine if you could reliably get that for transmog purposes. And I said, oh, right, I want transmog so bad without spending money IRL for the same 7 skins other people have got. He goes, no, can't tell if people have good armor or not. And I was sitting here like, oh, Lord. I don't care, Lord. That's the point of transmog. I don't want you to see my shit tier armor. I'm sorry I don't. But I'm going to let you know that I'm not going to join you in level 65s and higher because I know that I will die.
Let me get this right.
Me not having good gear. You just don't.
Imagine identifying people by their armor to decide if they were good or not.
Yeah.
There's also something
that
cool.
Was where my pet peeve was there for a moment.
There's something cool in MMOs, right? That now that I'm thinking about it, now we're talking about this. There's no inspect character.
No.
So basically, that's probably, and like I said, I enjoy transmog as well. I am one of those who are like, yes, let me transmog because there's so many gear, like armor types and like different designs that the game offers that look decent. They look nice. You can mix and match
Absolutely.
and look very nice. The problem is, as someone who can't wear heavy gear because they all either offer a lot of strength and not intelligence for my big brain character who has 400 intelligence and 20 strength. My
Okay,
man
so-
has too big of a brain. I am like, okay, but then at the same time, I feel like what they could have done is add an inspect button for the character. So like if you wanna check if they have good gear or not, you just check their like inspect and that's it. Transmog is fixable because it's like either what they could do, because apparently they posted, I don't know, I might be wrong here, but I do remember seeing it in one post where they said that in New World the devs were pleased by how the economy was because it was actually there was more generation of money rather than wasting money.
That's fair.
Which, in my opinion, what they could have done, what they can do with that logic is make the players, if they want to transmog, there's a vendor, or like there's an NPC in every capital. It tells you,
You're
okay,
assuming that's smart.
yeah, I'm assuming if they have a brain, right? If they have 400 intelligence,
Uh-huh.
and
Nah,
and
I
not
don't think
like
so.
no, they just have pure constitution, dude. They're pure constitution. But like what they can do is that put an NPC in each capital, and it says, okay, you want to transmog, you can store this item, this gear, like you transform into a transmog item, right? So you can no longer equip it, but it's now gonna be a cosmetic. So like you lose the stats and everything, it just transforms into a cosmetic option now in your character. Costs, I don't know, like 400 coins.
Are you talking about like if you've salvaged it already?
Yeah, instead of salvaging, no, not even salvage, not
This
even
is a
salvage.
Guild
No,
Wars.
you
No,
haven't.
he's saying that
no,
you
no,
just
no.
buy the skin.
No, no, no,
basically.
no, no.
I understand
No,
what
so
you're
like
saying,
if
but I
you
was
have the
giving
if you
example.
have the gear piece, let's say you have I don't
Right.
know, like one of the green, the angry people, the earth
Yeah,
people
you,
chest
and
piece.
you just pay.
You're like, yo, I like it. You just go to an NPC, you waste 400 coins. In that gear that you have in your inventory is now transformed into cosmetics.
Yeah,
So now,
that's literally what
Right.
Guild Wars does. Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, Guild Wars, you just salvage it. Like, they don't make you charge
Yeah.
for it. But, like, if you say you don't like transmog, you're just an idiot and you're wrong.
Yeah,
That.
yeah. I don't know
Um,
what's wrong with you. What's wrong with you?
It's,
Go transmog yourself, dude. Like, make yourself look
Yeah.
cooler. But then again, there's also the way of like the old MMOs where I'm not gonna mention. Well, I'll just mention it. Fucking classic WoW.
Yeah.
That one doesn't have any
Okay.
cosmetics, but people were like, oh yeah, but like you can see that like that same mentality of they have the good gear because of
Right.
how they look, and
But
they
you know
look
what the
disgusting.
difference is?
You can still inspect them.
There was, not only that, there was
Sure.
gear sets. Like, there's no gear
Gear
sets
sets.
in there's no gear sets in New World.
And
All
I don't
right,
think
so-
there will be.
It's a
I don't
gear
think so.
set, but it's for light, medium, or heavy, and it's an extra roll or one less roll.
I don't
like
think- I
Dark
mean-
Souls. That's literally all you get. From my experience, that's all I've seen.
All right, so I'm gonna speed run the issues with New World, and you can
All
just
right,
tell
here we
you can just tell me if they're fixed or not. Okay. So my personal favorite was crouching
Window
in
dragon.
AOE's.
And does
Where,
not work. Healers don't even have AoEs any longer.
So they got rid of the healer AOE, and then you could crouch in damaged AOE's and take a ton more damage.
Yo. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it was.
They
I
they
don't. I
fin-
haven't PvP'd
Ice-
nicely.
Ice Gauntlet spam got fixed, right? For wars.
I
Apparently.
haven't seen any
Okay.
lag issues whenever I'm here.
Supposedly.
Okay. Hatchet, you were able to stack up to like what 200 or 300% damage,
They said no longer.
and
That was
they took care of that. And then which one gives the infinite 20% move speed? Is that axe or
Berserk
hatchet?
Something like that.
I
Hatchet.
think Hatchet's
Okay,
still-
hatchet. I think that got fixed. Putting your game in windowed mode and dragging your screen around makes you
That's still
invulnerable.
not fixed.
Still not fixed. Gold duping.
Supposedly still
That
works.
was just fixed in the last patch.
Supposedly, yeah. Apparently, it still works.
I don't know. I haven't done
gold-
it.
There's still
I guess I should
rumors.
Yeah.
try it.
Gold bots took care of
Gold
those.
bots. I have not seen any gold bots.
Yeah,
The only
apparently it
good
took
thing
care of them.
Jeff Bezos actually spent money on buying all of those gold bonds. If you actually think about it,
Leon.
those gold bonds were
Uh,
actually from Jeff Bezos himself.
um. Oh, what else am I missing? There's so many bugs. Um. Oh, the perks not working on certain weapons. I don't think all those have been fixed yet.
Nope.
And then resilience was supposed to be anti-crit, but it's anti-all damage.
They fixed it.
They did fix that. Oh, that's sick.
They fixed it recently.
Some armor traits that are listed at above 20% are actually doing less than 20%.
Still not. I believe so. I believe
Sick.
they still aren't fixed.
Sick. Oh, this isn't a bug, but I just want to mention it because it's stupid. Having to make a tuning orb to go into dungeons when you should just be able to queue for a dungeon would be pretty sick. I don't. Was there any other major ones I missed? I mean, that just. Sorry.
Cost less now. Sorry.
Okay, that's good. That's good. But they just shouldn't. I don't think they should cost anything.
No, I don't think so either. But
Respecking is the only thing that got reduced. Outpost Rush, they enabled it 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, and they fixed transfers finally, where you could transfer. So that's just a small list of what I'm sure there are more bugs that I didn't name.
I do have a bug that is probably going to be an eternal constant. Yeah. Even though I do have a computer that has all the right specs, I can run it perfectly. Okay, let me tell you this.
Oh, cool boy.
So it's here forever. I downloaded, uninstalled and re-downloaded this game 2 to 3 times in the same day, in the same setting. And it still gives me a message that says you do not have the right requirements to play and run this game. And for a while I was thinking this is going to ruin my character, it's going to delete something, something's going to happen. So I just kind of winged it to see how far I could get with it. But the thing is that I've got it there forever now. So every time I log on, it doesn't know why, but it can't run the game. But it runs it perfectly. So I don't understand it, but that's a bug. I'm sure it is because I know that I've got the right systems to run it. So
it's also
I've
in
never
gamer
seen that
mode.
Before. If I could run Guild Wars, something that's way more intensive than a game like New World, that's an issue there. That's a big issue there, and I don't think it's a driver issue. I think it's a server issue. I think it's a game issue.
Okay, so I agree. I'm sure. Hopefully that ends up coming up and they fix it.
I do too, because I haven't seen anybody talk about that at all. I'm probably the only person with it. That'd be my luck, wouldn't it? But I hope it doesn't have anything to do with my character's going to be removed or anything like that. I've spent a lot of time. I've already spent like almost 300 hours in this game, and it'd be quite frustrating to say the least if something were to happen.
I actually stopped playing because of all the exploits because I was so frustrated because like the game's so PvP oriented that like the all those bugs like basically break the game. Like I don't want to have to use an exploit to win. I don't find that to be fun.
You do on there as well.
Yeah, I
play PvP.
Yeah, I stay queued for PvP because it's a extra XP bonus. I do think it could be a good game. I do think it could be a good game. I still think it needs a lot of work. And at the end of their dev blog, they admitted that they should do more dev blogs. Imagine communication being the thing that you should do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like I'm right with the original list where they need to make more content for the later years to go, later days. As a PvE player mainly, there's not much end game to be honest. Like,
I mean, even as a PvP player, there isn't.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing to be honest. And like for level 60, the only thing that makes you able to so at least in PvE mode, once you hit level 60, there's like a way for you to. The only thing for you to do is either there's 2 dungeons, which is Genesis, and then which is in Eden Grove in that area, it's level 61, and the other one is in Rickwater. Those 2 I haven't done yet, but so far, once you hit max level, the thing you have to do is you have to get a group going, like a train. You go to Shadow Mountain, which is a level 60 plus area, or you go to elite areas that are level 60 plus, and you just start looting. every chest,
Yeah.
and you get the watermark going. That's literally what you do, and you try to get the highest watermark, which is currently takes. It is a longer grind than what it is, because here's the thing, compared to leveling and PvP, so every chest, once you loot a chest, like a supply crate or etc., it respawns every hour. So if you do a specific run, you have to wait an hour for them to all respawn.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you can't just like mindlessly grind for it, because the train just lasts like 20 minutes at most, at the minimum. And then you're just like in Shadow Mountain, there's like two priests that are mini bosses, and those are the only two things you grind. And to the watermark they try and get is apparently 600, and the watermark you start at level 60 is 500 or 490. And by the way, every time you get a new gear that's higher ion level or gear score, it only increases it by 2, only on that gear slot. So let's say you got a helmet piece that's your current, the highest one you have gotten is 495, right? But you'd salvage it because it had very bad stats. What tends to happen is that afterwards you get a new gear and it's gonna be just 2 gear score above.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Now try and get to it to 600.
Yeah.
Whereas the PvP gear, it only goes up to 520.
Yeah, the game, the grind of the game is just insane. Like, just to get to 60 is insane. Yeah, and there's no end game.
There's no end game, which is a problem.
Where
like
I
people are
understand the
now getting
grind,
to
I
60.
don't understand the end game.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
All right. So we've hit our 20 minutes on New World.
Ooh,
So I'm stopping us here. We are going to answer. Kenny had a question that he sent to me a couple days ago and said, if you're in charge of New World, how would you make the game better? And I think we kind of just answered that. Like, from what I've heard, they have content made. They just haven't released it.
Communication with the player base, more open communication. I would say, if if this is really an answer you're looking for, Kenny, quality of life update. I would say that's a big thing that people need at the moment. I'm looking at a lot of the system and like whenever I've started playing the game, it just gives me RuneScape vibes, weird old school RuneScape vibes.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people say that.
And I don't like that because otherwise I would just be playing. I would just be playing RuneScape. I wouldn't be doing. Wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, and that's sitting there looking at the storage space. Like, where am I going to store this from here? Because now I've got no storage space here. Can't move it over there because somebody owns that place now. I've got to move all this stuff over here, but now it costs me fucking 500 gold or, something ridiculous. So, all I can say is, they need to be more open and willing to change a lot of the things in their game and not be so stubborn. And I'll keep it at that. I'll keep it simple and clean, as they need to stop being so stubborn and broaden their horizons when it comes to this genre. Because I don't think they've done anything like this before.
Yeah, I think communication's key. I also think like they teased weapons before launch, and I don't understand why we haven't at least seen one of them at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm confused about that too.
Like, you got people hyped about daggers and then didn't put them in the game. You got people hyped about Void Gauntlet before launch, didn't put them in the game.
I was a bit excited.
And it's just strange, but I agree. I think I'm gonna leave it just as communication, because I think I don't think there's much more to say at this point.
Here's what I'm gonna say. They, in my opinion, this is my hot take. I don't think they should have actually made a, like, for MMOs. I feel like those things, like, so here's probably one of my pet peeves that I don't know, it might be hot take. I don't think they really should have made people try it out early, like the full experience. Because here's what happened. The game launched, everyone already knew what to do. the
Well, I
new
mean-
world as it is, as it says new world, like the MMO is supposed to go in, it's brand new, no one knows what they're
You know,
playing.
that's a bittersweet thing to talk about, Liani, because I will say you've got to know what you're in for, and they need to
Yeah,
know
I
what's
I
going
know,
wrong
but like at the
between
same
that player
time,
base. If you'd let me speak on it, like
yeah,
they need to know that player base, and they did it with it full intention of it being for PvP people, not for people like you. And maybe that's where it rubs you wrong, is because it's not based on PvE players like every other
Yeah.
MMO has been, and that can be probably a little bit weird. Um, so all I can say again on that topic where you're coming from now is like you got to take that with a grain of salt. Some MMOs are going to be for you and your game style, some
Yeah.
aren't. And I think open beta for that game was perfect because now they know and they're starting to fix all of these AoE issues that are going on with PvP, and they're trying to fix that. And that's more than other games.
I think
And
the
I'll leave
problem.
that topic at that.
I was like in favor. I was like okay with it. Like I said, like it's kind of weird for me to see it, like because the entire meta was already discovered by then and whatnot. Which, like I said, like you said, it's fine. It's okay. I'm still okay with them because, like you said, sure, it's purely for PvP, and it's good because, imagine. Then I'm here thinking, wait, if they didn't do that, the game would have came out even worse.
Absolutely.
Which is why I'm like,
would have.
you know what? I'm okay if they actually did made it open beta. I'm just thinking like it's weird for me that they do it because most of them, like MMOs, they come out. It's like, sure, there's like some NDAs, so like embargoes and stuff like that were from certain MMOs that like they limit to certain people, like closed betas instead of
Absolutely.
open betas in a sense. But then again, it's like I kind of see the point of it, where they want to try and stress test and see like make the game as buggy as possible in the sense of like for the players to actually like exploit it to the point where they say, okay, now we know the entire bugs because
To
these
see
are
their
people
common
that
ground as the player, absolutely. They should have done testing like that for games like Cyberpunk, but they didn't do that either. Whereas I'll say that was a fantastic game story-wise, but it fell off in terms of bugs. Bugs killed that because they had no game testers, so it took them over a year just to even fix it and get it playable on PS4, or on PS systems. I know that's not what we're talking about really, but that's an example of why they should have those stress tests, why they should have those beta testers for any game, any game.
yeah.
Because it came out like dog water, like absolute trash, hot trash off a plate, and people were eating that, and they had no other choice but to eat it after they've already bought it. So now they've got to wait a year and a half for all those bugs to get fixed, etc.
It's
I think
I don't know.
the issue with New World is like they had a closed NDA alpha, they had an alpha, they had a closed beta test, they had a closed stress test, they had an open beta, and like bugs existed through all of those, and then we got the date pushed back, and most of those bugs still existed. Now, don't get me wrong, there were other bugs too, that did get fixed, but it is like hard to like be like, well, why did this one still exist when you've known about it for months?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna close New World there because or else we're gonna keep talking about it. And then I'm gonna throw a shout out to Kenny's MMO, Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's eventually getting a new DLC, and that's all I have to say about it. And now on to WoW, which god,
I've got nothing to say here.
I
You forced me.
have things to say.
Have fun.
So,
but I want to keep it short because I feel like we talked about a lot of the issues two
We didn't
episodes
talk about
ago.
WoW.
I want to
No,
say one.
2 episodes ago, Liani did mention several of the issues with WoW in the current expansion.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna say
That was
this
a funny
real.
episode.
I'm gonna say this, and I won't try and
Chat,
dabble
chat,
on those
chat
things.
hit it good. Chat hit it good. Yes, it's so bad.
It is bad. The game. So recently, I think 9.1.5 came out, which is the quality of life, quote unquote, for the game, which fixes and is their response to a lot of the problems that the game had for 5 years. Even the systems that they tested, that even the players were telling them, this needs to be fixed. Why you guys are doing this dumb system? Just get it out. they ignored it and they suffered the consequences. The players then said, you know what? You guys aren't paying attention for us for 5 years. We're gonna leave. This is like the same
Ooh.
thing that which is why like right now WoW is. I'll say this, and I think I can. And I don't know if you guys can agree with me with this. The game's dead. Like
It's bad.
the expansion is dead. Like there's no way there's no way feasibly any possible way for them to repair the expansion. The damage has already been done. For someone, I played the expansion when it first came out. I enjoyed it at first because it was a new expansion and everything. But then the problem was the later the game went on, you will notice that it was the same bugs, like not bugs, but like there was the same issues. The systems were too convoluted. It made you seem like the game was a chore. It was forcing you to keep playing, rather than for you to just hop in, play a bit, have fun, get out.
Yeah.
Is that what you thought WoW was before? Because it never felt like that before
No.
for me.
So when I played one of the expansions, which is I'll say is probably the best expansion, it came out in modern WoW. It's called World of Warcraft Legion. That is the expansion I played. That expansion felt super nice. I enjoyed it a lot because it had a lot of freedom in terms of like you can play whatever you want.
When it
There
comes
was
to WoW, I'm sure.
when it comes to WoW, like you can play. It was
Yeah.
also very big at the experience because it felt like they wanted to break the fire extinguisher with like glass, and they like did that, and the game became super nice. Like everything, the story and everything felt super nice. Like the entire gameplay
It was
felt
coming
smooth.
together for you.
Yeah,
In a way.
and it was very good in a sense. There were some like issues here and there, like the legendaries, how you obtain them, which is very RNG based. But then the thing with WoW is what the devs do is that at the end, the last expansion or like the last patch of the expansion, what they do is, all right, we don't care about the expansion anymore. Here, you can have the easy mode of the expansion. So that's why most people say that the last patch of this expansion tends to be the best patch of the expansion, because that's what they fit. That's where they fix all the quality of life bugs issues, and they remove all the like the muddied waters for the player's experience. It makes you have
Yeah,
more fun.
absolutely.
But the
Yeah.
problem is like for me, like sure, I can see that, but I want to play with its current content. Like I want to play the first raid when it's first raid of the expansion. Why do I have to wait until the last patch when we're already on the third raid for me to be able to play on the first raid? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like I want to play the raid current content. I want to play old content, which is also an issue that's happening right now. Wow, is that this patch that's 9.1.5 is just bringing back old content just to appeal and please the returning players and make them come back. Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'm not gonna come back. As I'm not returning to that.
At least you know that. At
All
least you
right.
know.
So I considered playing the newest expansion, like when it first released, because I'd played like WoW here and there. I enjoyed a couple of the old expansions, and overall had like a decent time with the game. I talked to Buzz about it. Buzz was like, "Don't buy it." And then over time, I'd listen to Liani talk about it. I'd watch stuff with Asmongold. I would see just other stuff and to see like the state of the game just absolutely plummeting. And then you add in the fact that Activision slash Blizzard's incompetence to treat people with some sense of humanity in their workforce. And I think
that's just misogyny. Don't worry about it.
I think that hit them. Yeah, and they might get
Don't
away
worry
with it,
about
which is even crazier because of like some weird law stuff that happened. But I'm not going to get into that.
And that's coming from a woman saying that. Lol.
I mean, like it. I just don't understand.
It's disgusting.
I think that along with how bad the expansion was, I think people were were going to suck it up with how bad the expansion was. I think people were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna keep sucking it up." And then the Activision case came out, and they're like, "Yo, we're out. Like we already didn't like the game. We just needed a reason, and here it is." And then you add in New World, and you add in I guarantee they lost numbers based off that. That lawsuit.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I still think that that's not what exploded it.
I don't think it helped. I think New World coming
help.
out, and I think Final Fantasy getting a lot better. And even though it wasn't bad, I think those two things coupled that with that.
I think it was the fact that their player base on Overwatch had to move off of Overwatch because they weren't updating Overwatch any longer, and they were updating WoW more than anything else.
And they still
and they
aren't
literally
updating
just
WoW.
re-released the new Diablo 2 remaster.
Yeah.
Right? And that was a flop. That was clearly a money grab. We all knew it. I'm sorry. I don't care for whoever, used to like Diablo 2. I played it too. Alright, I played it too. But it's not worth my money to go back whenever... Honestly, I would just use the normal graphics instead of the new graphics. Like,
right.
if I had gotten that game, I would have just done that. Because I'm a sucker for that nostalgic feeling. I just am. And then, so, on the topic of, WoW and all those people moving off of WoW and, there's a dumpster fire, I think Blizzard, in general, has no business dealing with games until they've got a good mindset for their company and what they really want to do.
Well, and they have moved leads around and stuff. Like, there is changes being made, but I just think Activision and them together have really put a damper on what was already not. I mean, Blizzard had a really good
Absolutely.
I don't know what I'm looking for. Like, not run. Like, they had a good sense of the community, and they had it. It was really good, really back and forth. I think it was good. Besides, Buzz mentioned something in the chat about when Hong Kong stuff happened with BFA release. But I think along with that, I think Activision just never really. To me, they've never really had a good relationship with their community. Bobby Kotick is a special snowflake, and that's all I have to say about it.
Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Kotick. Yeah, he's a special individual. I just think as a company, there are some things. I hope that some of the things that came out within the two lawsuits don't end up getting entangled and them getting away with some stuff. I hope they suffer the full repercussions of those suits. But anyways,
I'm gonna say this and as a joke. So BFA and Legion, actually not Legion, when BFA launched, there was a meme called Beta for Azeroth. Because the game never came out. And what happened was that when the game came out, it was massively buggy. It was basically considered as if it was a beta, open beta. That's what, and it's looking like this right now. It is really looking like that right now, where Shadowlands is looking to be another beta expansion until the last patch, which is, I'm assuming, is going to be 9.3.5 or 9.2.5. Because if they make a third content patch, I will eat my own.
Yeah, just stop there. Something.
I'll just die.
Please.
I will just die, dude. I will eat my own words because that game doesn't deserve to have a third fucking content patch.
No.
And I'm not going to focus much more on Blizzard Activision. I'm considering doing an episode dedicated to their idiocy maybe later. But I haven't decided.
I stream Overwatch. I can't do it anymore. So fun.
I mean, they killed that and Heroes of the Storm. But anyway, and Heroes of the Storm's a good game.
Heroes of the Storm, yeah, it was quite nice. I'll give it that.
But they kind of just murdered that. All right, so the last MMO, and I don't even know how much I really need to talk about it because it's just good, is Final Fantasy XIV.
No.
Now, let me preface this. If you are new to Final Fantasy XIV, Realm Reborn sucks. It is awful. Yep. It is just not good. Now, there's no way around it. Everything after that is either good or amazing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's just a good game. The problem is...
I have input on here, but I've not played Final Fantasy XIV. I don't think I plan on playing Final Fantasy XIV.
Don't worry. You can play for free. The first
No,
the self-critically acclaimed... Hold on, I need to pull it up. Final Fantasy copy pasta.
Please don't.
Okay. Anyway. No, I'm not. No. Okay. The game is. Here's the only issue with Final Fantasy is for all players. It is a PvE game. There is not
That's
PvP
okay.
oriented, but that's okay. Like the raids are good, the dungeons are good, the story is good. The only complaint I could possibly make towards the game is the PvP, and it's not enough of a complaint because you know what's even better in the game? The transmog. The transmog is top
Ooh.
tier. It's so
Don't
good.
say that to
Yeah.
me.
It's the best. It's the
I
best
haven't got
transmog in any
time to
game.
get into another game.
Any game. Any game.
Stop
Like
talking.
it's just good. It's just good.
Yeah, it's just good.
I know this is your podcast and everything, but please stop talking.
You can be a cat girl, and like I'm just saying, like the game is good. Like I've considered going back and like catching up to where I was, like finishing out the story. Like I like to go finish out the story, and I mainly played that game by myself because the group. Let me rephrase that. The group. If you're watching this, if you're listening, I'm doing quotation marks in the air right now. The group I was playing with, that didn't actually do anything with me. I just played solo, and it's just a good game. I really enjoyed it. It's a solid MMO. Like I said, I don't really have anything negative to say about it. The devs literally tell you what their plan is, and like you know everything up
that's
front.
nice,
Like
at
the
least.
Yeah.
communication's good. You know what to expect.
Yeah.
They always have a roadmap for what
Yeah.
to expect in it. Like
Yeah, for the whole
everyone
expansion.
for the whole expansion,
Oh,
you
that's
already know
nice.
what's going on, and they also release dev letters, like live streams where they just talk about it. So what happened recently is there was a dev letter, I think like 5 days ago, on Friday. Yeah, it was Friday. What happened was that the dev letter, like they showed up and they had to, like, they had the passion, right? You can see the passion from the dev, like the main lead developer. He was legit starting the stream crying. He's like, "I'm sorry guys, but we have to delay the game by 2 weeks until December 3rd, the 3rd of December, instead of the plan." And he's like, "I can't." And he's like, "I'm so sorry. This is not what I wanted. I never delay games. This is the first time I'm delaying the expansion, or any game I have worked with. I'm so sorry." And then he went on and then was explaining, and they shared like a launch trailer and everything. The expansion as it is, considering how there's legit a WoW refugee meme in Final Fantasy. Like there's, I'll say like 80% of the WoW player base that left went to Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why
That's
there's a lot
amazing.
of
They
like,
sold out of digital copies.
yeah.
Like digital
Oh.
keys at one point. Yeah, which is funny.
They also had to close out character creations because of the great influx, especially when Asmongold started playing Final Fantasy on stream. I can't even tell you that he almost reached, I'll say, 200,000 viewers just from the first day of Final Fantasy
Wowee.
stream. So that's how big the game is, like how a lot of people want to see it. And this expansion, which is the Endwalker one, people like this is the culmination of the arc of like the entire storyline of the game so far. So they're going to like kind of like the anime, how they do, like they have like an arc, like entire storyline, kind of like that. So this expansion that's upcoming is like that. It's the end of one storyline,
Yeah.
and so obviously a lot of people, including myself, are very excited to play it because when I played Shadowbringers and I played the last raid, holy, like they, and also there's a lot of education from the the music as well. Holy shit, dude! Like that game.
And each expansion does the what they do like an old Final Fantasy concept from one of the old games too, usually, which
Yeah.
is sick. The game's just
Yeah.
well designed.
They in the developer letter, this time they had two separate ones. The first one was purely for PvP, so they showed the new classes and stuff. Well, not new, yeah, they showed the classes, as in like ability showcases. And then for this developer letter, they showed what's upcoming for PvP. And they said that there was a lot of stuff that took like, I'll say, 2 hours to explain what was new for PvP. Like there was gonna be loadouts. I think there's gonna be a new mode that's basically like the Splatoon tower control, which is like push the payload.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to explain what's going to be happening in the entire like expansion. How do you get the tokens? Like everything. So like they were being transparent as hell to the entire thing. And I'm just more surprised. I'm just here for the ride as well. Lucky thing is that the raids do not come out on Christmas Eve, so people do have time to play and catch up.
That would be so bad.
Which, by the way, if it wasn't delayed, it was gonna come out on Christmas.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like Final Fantasy. Transmog, amazing. That's the only MMO where I actually did buy that transmog.
Yeah, dude, transmogs in that game's sick. I don't have any other MMOs to talk about. I know Ashes of Creation's coming. Who knows when? A lot of people are hyped about it. Go check it out if you want. But other than that, I think we talked about pretty much all the main MMOs that you see. Not even main ones. We talked about some niche ones too. At least right now that people are being played. It is now time for the random question of the day, which is related to what happened to me today. And I know the answer because I talked to you all about it, but I just want to bring it up again so that way, if you're a listener, you can understand the travesty that was served to me today at lunch.
Oh, disgusting! Not this thing.
So we had to submit. So we had 3 options. We had chicken salad, which I've had before, and the chicken salad has fruit in it. Not a fan. Smoked turkey sandwich, had it last time, and the smoked turkey sandwich last time came with on the side what they called cranberry mayo. And I was like, I don't want that. All right. And then option number 3 was a Capri sandwich. All right. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go with the safe option.
Okay. Pause. What is a Capri sandwich?
Don't care.
Like, I thought it was Capri Sun sandwich.
No.
What is the Capri Sun?
So I go with the safe option, which is the turkey sandwich, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get my turkey sandwich. I go down to my room. I open the turkey sandwich up to see, like, hey, do they give me any condiments to put on it? You know, do they give me mayo, mustard, whatever? All right, there's lettuce. There's bread. There's lettuce. There's turkey, pepper jack cheese, cranberry jelly. Now, literally disgusting.
It was Thanksgiving in a sandwich, and you weren't very thankful.
So I took a no thank you bite because that's what I would tell my kids to do.
Oh my god!
I also brought it up later. I was like, "Why did we get served these sandwiches?" And they told me it was an homage to Thanksgiving.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yo, I'd be thankful.
All right, so my question is to you: would you all have ate the sandwich?
No, hell no.
I would have said, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
Where's the jelly on? Is
the
it
bread?
On both sides?
The bread. It's on the bread, dude.
Both sides of the bread, or one side?
Here's the problem.
No. Answer the question. Answer the question.
It's on one side of the bread. Yeah.
All right, you yeet that side and said, eat shit. You yeet it.
I knew you were gonna say that. The problem is they put it on both sides of the cheese, so it's on the turkey anyway.
Okay, so now you just eat the entire sandwich.
Spicy cheese. They put jam on. No, thank you.
Just eat the entire sandwich.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I took a bite and I was like, why would anybody eat this? And then I didn't have enough time to go. I didn't have time to go get something else to eat that I wanted because I had to go take like this picture for being there for over 5 years. So I had to go get like food that I was like, I mean, I'm okay with eating this, but I don't want it. Yeah, fun times. Highly recommend if you really want to, like ignite those taste buds in the wrong way.
I do love
that's the way to do it.
Thank you bite though. It's quite cute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was like, I would tell my kids to take a no thank you bite. And so I did that to Logan tonight. He's like, he didn't want to eat. And I was like, just take a bite. And if you don't like it, it's fine. And he puts the pork up to his mouth that I made. And he touches it with his tongue and goes, no, thank you. I was like, I can't with you, kid. I can't.
It's like this sponge. Have you ever seen the SpongeBob meme? Who's like, look at the hot sauce.
No.
Oh wow,
no.
I'm not a SpongeBob fan. I'm sorry. I only watched it currently because Luke likes it. But like as a kid, I couldn't stand SpongeBob.
Wow.
Not gonna get into that right
Not
now.
even
'cause
the
that,
memes. Can't
that
bully
that will get me
SMH.
too much hatred. I might get canceled.
It's
You're already
true.
getting cancelled.
Gonna
Dang
get
it!
cancelled by his own company.
Unfortunate.
We don't
Yo,
agree
then
with you.
take that note. Thank you, mate.
Oh god, dude. All right. Well, I don't have anything else to add. Is there anybody y'all want to shout out or anything?
I would just like to say hi. I'm Nephraelle. I sometimes stream League of Legends. Unfortunately, you're always welcome to come watch me die in my lane down in bottom. I sometimes still Blaze and we play together.
And I get
It's been
Pintas.
great being on the podcast and heckling both these young men. I will say, however, we cannot talk about New World again. Otherwise, I will have to come back on podcast and scream.
Okay.
Very
At least there's
likely.
that. By the way,
All right.
there'll be links in the description for the Twitch channel.
Thank you.
Leon, you got any shout outs or?
I want to shout out to my homeboy, my dog.
Yo, that thing, he's mad
Yo.
cute, bro.
Yo, he cute,
Dog
but he
mad
also a
cute.
demon. Shout out to my boy. Hold on. Where's shoutouts to my man, Sleepy Steve, who played Achilles on Smite.
Okay. All right.
That is all I get to say.
Okay, so I didn't do names. I didn't do names of the week, but I'm gonna hit y'all with a few for my shout outs on my way out. Shout out to One Rub Chub was someone I played against the other day.
Oh wait, you wanna go there? I have one whose name was Daddy Spanks Me.
Oh yes, I played against that guy before.
Lord.
And then shout out to Furry Weeaboo, because you need to be more descriptive than just being a weeaboo.
Of course.
Shout
Nothing
out
wrong with it, by the
to what was the other one? Shart Starter and Bowl of Struggles, who I think were queued together. There were some others I can't remember off the top of my head, but those are the ones I had. Oh no,
There were some good ones on League. I'll say that, but we forgot them.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
but
What was
that is
one
it.
person? Kerbert or
No.
what was it, Jesse?
Oh, Gurkha.
There we
No,
go.
but
yeah,
shout out to Gurkha, bro.
yeah, shout out to.
Gurkha.
Actually, that's an MMO I forgot. Check out Lost Ark. That one
True.
has some promise. Get Gurkha'd. If you want to know more about that, go check out the Lost Ark stream from earlier.
Absolutely.
Hope you all have a good one. There will most likely be a special guest on next podcast episode as well. Hope you all have a good one. Take it easy. Bye.
Joe Biden.
Joe.
Joe Biden.